Boruto will be able to see the future in the time skip. And I am almost 100% sure that this is an ability that Boruto will awaken very soon, which will be one of the reasons why Boruto's smile seems to have gone away, as this ability to see the future is an ability that may seem wonderful at first, but just like immortality, slowly and maturely you start to learn the dark truth of seeing the future. In today's video, we will discuss how and why Boruto seeing the future will change him in the time skip, and how it will affect his character as a whole. So we have to talk about why Boruto will get this ability. We have already seen glimpses of Boruto being able to see the future and have a vision of what is to come. This is seen in chapter 75, where Boruto has a dark vision of the future, and everything that he saw in that future ended up happening in the chapters to come. So why exactly do I believe that this is going to be a recurring ability that Boruto is going to get? First of all, we know that Boruto is Momoshiki's vessel, and he should be able to inherit all of his abilities. But we have said this over and over again, and it only seems like Kawaki is the one who gets this type of treatment. Kawaki has been able to awaken Ishiki's abilities quite easily. We've seen him use almost all of his abilities, like Sukona Hikonen, the ability to shrink himself, and the ability to store people in a dimension that time doesn't flow, which is the ability he used on Naruto and Hinata to seal them in the place where time doesn't flow, meaning that they won't age and won't starve. So it really all depends on the authors, and if the authors are really willing to give Boruto the abilities that Momoshiki possesses. But we have to understand that one of the reasons why Kawaki is able to awaken Ishiki's abilities a lot faster is because Amado said that this karma is purely a weapon. And if it's purely a weapon, it makes sense for Kawaki to be able to use Ishiki's abilities faster than Boruto, as Boruto's karma is not only a weapon, it serves to help Momoshiki resurrect. But if we go back to chapter 75, you will see that even though Boruto was not able to use all of Momoshiki's abilities, we still see him see the future. And this is due to Boruto and Momoshiki's mind merging. So because of that, when Momoshiki has visions of the future, we can have the possibility of Boruto also seeing those visions because of Boruto and Momoshiki's minds slowly merging. When Momoshiki thinks about something, like he was thinking about where Ida's powers come from, Boruto was able to access some of that intel until Momoshiki decided to stop thinking. This is going to be a way that Boruto will be able to use this ability in the future. Whenever Momoshiki gets a glimpse of the future, Boruto will see that same glimpse. Boruto will see that same tableau, just like in chapter 75. However, this is not the only way that Boruto may be able to see the future. We all know that when Boruto was resurrected, he became a full-fledged Otsutsuki. In chapter 67, we have Momoshiki who tells Boruto that he is now a purebred Otsutsuki because the rest of the karma has been extracted to help him come back to life, but now as an Otsutsuki. And there might be a possibility that seeing the future or glimpses of the future might just be an ability that all Otsutsukis may have as a default. Just like Amado said that flying is a default Otsutsuki ability that both Boruto and Kawaki will have. Maybe seeing the future is an ability that comes as a default for all Otsutsukis, because we see both Momoshiki and Ishiki see the future in some sort of way. We have Momoshiki who saw Boruto's future and predicted that something bad was going to happen, and we have Ishiki when he resurrected in Jigen's body, who was able to peer into Kashin Koji's future and fate and was able to see what the ending outcome of his life would be and who he truly was. This is an ability that both Boruto and Kawaki may be able to get just as a default for the Otsutsukis. However, it might just be too early to say that it is a default Otsutsuki ability just because Momoshiki and Ishiki have it. We know that Momoshiki and Ishiki have both eaten chakra fruits, so maybe it's an ability that they have because of them eating chakra fruits over and over again. But due to what Ishiki and Momoshiki have, where they're able to see different glimpses of the future, I think that it's a possibility that even Kawaki gets to see the future just like Ishiki did with Kashin Koji. But personally, I think it fits Boruto's character a lot more, and I personally think that he should be the only one to get it. Just like right now, Kawaki is the only one who can use Ishiki's abilities, I personally feel like Boruto is the one who should be able to see the future and Kawaki not do that. I personally think it fits his character a lot more, and I could definitely see Boruto take the path of a person like Guts, who goes through all sorts of turmoil and from time to time gets visions of what could happen in the future, just like Guts with the eclipse, and just like Boruto did with the prophecy that is going to happen. And Boruto potentially having more events like this where Boruto is just consistently losing for time after time, but he has to continue enduring for the sake of the village and his father. I could definitely see Boruto going down that path, and that's why an ability like seeing the future might just break Boruto down, leading to a more sadder version of himself in the future. But I'm not saying it doesn't fit Kawaki at all. I could definitely see Kawaki having an ability like just because Ishiki was able to do the same thing with Kashin Koji. But I think Boruto, it just fits him a lot more, and I want him to have it for himself. But it's cool if both of them have it. But there are two different ways of seeing the future. In the series, we have seen two different methods of seeing the future. There's one way that the Otsutsukis have used, and there's one way that Boruto has been allowed to see the future. So first of all, let's talk about Momoshiki and Ishiki's way of seeing the future. Ishiki and Momoshiki check people's future, destiny, or fates by checking their genes. This is what Ishiki says to Kashin Koji after he resurrects, as Ishiki says that all genes have predestined fates, meaning that all people's destinies are written from birth. This is kind of a crazy concept and goes directly in conflict with the ideas and teachings of Naruto, which is the point entirely. We're going to see Naruto's identity be in conflict with the Otsutsuki identity. Naruto's belief is that if one works hard enough, he can be able to change his fate. He can be able to change his destiny. One is not bound by his destiny, and destiny is constantly changing by the things you do. But the Otsutsuki's belief is that destiny and fates are all predestined by the genes you get from birth. So everything that you experience from birth has all been predestined. And we kind of see this in Boruto's life, as Momoshiki said that Boruto was going to experience an event. And we see in episode 293, where Boruto says that he's going to make sure this prophecy of Momoshiki doesn't come to pass, where he loses everything. But it did come to pass. Boruto did lose everything. Boruto lost his family. Boruto lost his people. Boruto did end up losing everything. And it seems like Boruto is going to have to go in conflict with these two different ideologies. The Otsutsuki ideology that he has to battle with, and the ideology that Naruto has given him. And these teachings that Naruto has instilled in his son Boruto is what allows him to continue moving forward. As Boruto said that he is still his father's son, and he has to continue moving forward. And this is a problem that Boruto is going to be dealing with. Boruto, being a hybrid Otsutsuki, will have to deal with these two different ideologies and philosophies. Meaning that if Boruto awakens an ability of checking people's fates, he will be able to look into people's destinies and paths in life. The same thing that Momoshiki did to him when he was able to check his fates. People might think that Boruto is done losing. This is the only event that will take place in Boruto's life. Boruto has finally taken his last L. But I wouldn't say that this is completely the truth. A person's fate is not an event, just something that happens once. It's a course of events that dictates a person's experience. If somebody is fated to be a loser, it doesn't mean he loses once. It means he loses constantly, over and over again. No matter how hard he tries, he is just fated to be a loser. So it could be the case where Boruto is fated to lose everything, where it means that Boruto not only loses something once, like he has lost in chapter 69. It is a continuous process. Boruto will lose everything over and over again. So in this case, Boruto has lost his family. Boruto has lost his people. He has lost his village. But he will try again. He will meet new people. But the same thing will happen again. He will lose them over and over again because he is fated to lose. This is the type of fate that he has. I'm not necessarily saying that Boruto is a fated loser, but based on his fate, he will experience continuous events, which means that the event that he is experiencing right now might not be the last one that he experiences. Boruto is fated to lose everything, and I just hope it doesn't mean that there is more sorrow to come. But looking at Boruto's face, looking at Boruto's expressions in the time skip, he doesn't have that same smile. The same smile that he had in chapter 80, where he was ready to confront everything. Boruto is tired. Boruto is tired of losing the people he loves. It seems like he might fall down the path of the Otsutsukis, where maybe the Otsutsukis were right all along. This is what the time skip will explore, and Boruto being able to see the future, just like Momoshiki and Ishiki do, will be sad, and I definitely believe that it will change Boruto entirely. But the second method is a method that I have already discussed. We see this method in chapter 75, where due to Momoshiki and Boruto merging, we have Boruto who is able to have visions of the future. Since Momoshiki is inside of him, this might just be the method they use in the future. They're slowly merging, so when Momoshiki has a vision of the future, Boruto also sees that same vision. And this is going to just happen more and more in the future as the merger almost becomes complete, where Boruto and Momoshiki might just have become one in the future. But this is a theory for another day. But how will this really affect Boruto? How will this affect Boruto as a character, and what his goals truly end up being? As I have said in the beginning, seeing the future might seem to be an ability that is cool at first, but it can easily turn into a dark and heartbreaking ability. Boruto will be forced to confront two different theories, the one presented by his father, which is the one where he can change his own destiny, and the Otsutsuki philosophy that all genes and all people have predestined fates. And this is where we have to talk about a concept called learned helplessness. Learned helplessness occurs when an individual continuously faces a negative, uncontrollable situation and stops trying to change their circumstances. This is something that could affect and drastically change Boruto in the future and time skip. If Boruto is constantly trying to change the future, constantly trying to help people and better them, but it just doesn't work, or he makes the situation even worse, he will definitely fall in a state of learned helplessness, where he no longer tries to change the future or people's fates, where he just accepts them, which might cause him to lose the will to live, leading to what Momoshiki was talking about. Because in chapter 80, a lot of people felt like Momoshiki might just have lost. Momoshiki just seemed very mad that Boruto didn't give up, telling him that no, there's nothing he can do to change that. And Boruto is there smiling, saying that he still has the genes of his father inside of him and he can't give up. But it doesn't necessarily mean that Momoshiki has lost. If Boruto's fate is to consistently go through the worst experiences, consistently lose everything he has, Boruto will fall down a path of learned helplessness, where he no longer tries and accepts people's fates and accepts the future, where Momoshiki actually takes over for a period of time. And Momoshiki is just mad that this is not happening now, and he will have to wait a little bit longer in the future, which may just be the reason why Momoshiki is mad. So the time skip that we are all waiting for, and that seems to be coming in August, is sad. This is why Boruto is so sad in the time skip. This is why Boruto is not smiling when he is confronting Kawaki in the time skip. Because he may have fallen into a state where he just accepts the future and gives up on trying to change it. Boruto might have tried to change the future over and over again, but nothing really changed, leading to him giving up and just accepting the fates, which gives Momoshiki what he wanted, which will be the period of time that Momoshiki has foreshadowed, where he is able to take control of Boruto's body, as Boruto has finally given up on life and let Momoshiki take over because he believes that he can't change his fates. Let's say, for example, Boruto sees a future where Sasuke dies, and we have Momoshiki who is constantly laughing in the background, saying that it's going to happen soon. Just like he couldn't do anything back then, he can't do anything now. After the time skip, after he works so hard, he trains so hard, he becomes a powerful shinobi, he does everything possible, but yet he is still powerless when it comes to the fate that he is dealt with, where potentially Sasuke dies, and Boruto has already seen that this event will take place and has worked tirelessly, has done everything he can, but yet he can't change the future, which leads to Boruto falling down and like, I can't do anything. This is just my fate. I am fated to just be Momoshiki's vessel. What is the point? And if Boruto is the one who ends up killing his own master and then has to go back and talk to Sadara, who gave up spending his time with his father so that he could give an opportunity for Boruto to have a helpful companion in the time skip, it might break Sadara. It might break Sarada because she never had that bond with his father. She never really spent that time with his father like Boruto was given the grace to have. And for Boruto to be the one to take it away, it might truly break Sarada's heart and she might not be able to forgive Boruto. And this is what I'm saying. Boruto will slowly start to have these visions of things that he just can't control. He can't stop them from happening, causing him to become helpless, causing him to just learn that there's nothing that he can do. But do you know what is the event that will truly break Boruto? A fight between him and his sister, where he believes that Boruto is the enemy instead of Kawaki. And this fight will truly break Boruto. And if you want to learn more about the possibility of this fight taking place, watch this video right here.